we're going to talk through the unpacking and assembly of the SHIELD Lite silo protection system. We recommend users print out a copy of the full manual for their reference, as this provides in-depth information. Carefully open the box. Inside, you will find the Quick Start guide on the top, which you will need to refer to for wiring, so put this to one side. Then remove the display panel and put that aside. Remove the packaging. Then undo the knobs holding the mounting flange in place. Put these aside and remove the flange and take the gasket off. The mounting flange will be welded to the silo top, like so, with the gasket on top. Remove the PRV weather cover and the panel weather shield, and put them both aside. Remove the final bits of cardboard packaging, and finally remove the shield PRV unit. Now we have the mounting flange and PRV at the top of the silo. Take note of the positioning information in the manual to ensure correct placement of the system. For example, not too close to the edge or to the fill point. Pay attention to the orientation of the holes on the flange to ensure that when the PRV is mounted, the control box remains easily accessible. For this installation, we will be using the optional high-level pod, which is delivered in a separate box. This allows for the high-level alarm to be mounted in the same process connection, reducing the silo top footprint. It has a quick release coupling for attaching the level probe. The units are assembled on top of each other like so, and then bolted together. All of the necessary bolts are provided with the system. Note that there are a number of different hole patterns on the flange. These align with all the most popular PRV model bolt holes to make retrofitting easier. Before wiring the PRV, mount the panel and its weather shield near the fill point. These use the same locating holes, so when the cover is off the panel, it can be attached through the weather shield. For this demonstration, we will place it on the floor. The final component is the high-level probe. The DP150 vibrating probe features a long cable so it can hang down inside the silo. This is mounted through the port via the upstand pod's quick release coupling. The coupling is unscrewed, the probe put through, then inserted into the hole and screwed back in. It is important to make sure the probe head orientation is correct with the electrical process connection at the bottom. When everything is assembled, we can remove the covers and start wiring. Start by removing the cover of the control box on the PRV. We recommend putting the front face on top of the box to avoid damaging the wire for the local test button. The pressure sensor and the PRV proximity switch are already pre-wired. All that needs to be wired on top of the silo is the connection to the panel at the base of the silo and the high-level probe, which we will show you now. You may also want filtration wiring, which we will come on to later. Remove the level probe's cover. Please note, use screened cable as shown here. Wire the level probe with a 5-core screened cable. We have covered the extra core with a black heat shrink to prevent contact with any metal. The high-level alarm is linked to TB7. This is the factory default for a single level probe installation. Insert the cable through the connection port. Wire the supply. Terminal 1 is plus 24 volts with a link wire from terminal 1 to the common. Then wire terminal 2, which is 0 volts. Then the switch wire, number 3, connects to NC normally closed next to the link. Wires 4 and 5 are the ground level test. 4 goes to the left-hand GLT terminal and number 5 to the right. Connect the electrical shielding cable to the earth point. This only needs to be done on the probe. Put the cover back on and move on to the PRV control box. The level probe will be wired to TB7. Insert the 5-core cable through the third grommet. Note that the correct wiring sequence is visible on the PCB. Follow this to wire the probe correctly. Cable 1 to terminal 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4, and 5 to 5. The screen wire is no longer used, so it can be coiled up or cut off. This completes the wiring of the high-level switch. Now we will connect the control panel at the fill point to the silo top equipment. Remove the front cover from the panel. The panel connection uses a 5-core cable with a screen. Insert the cable through the larger port. On the level probe terminal block, wire 1 goes to 24 volts, 2 to 0 volts. The serial communications wire number 3 goes to RS485A, wire 4 to RS485B, and the screen wire goes to number 5. Run this cable to the top of the silo and duplicate these settings in the PRV control box. Put the comms cable through the second port and wire into the terminal block on the bottom right. Wire 1 goes to 24 volts, 2 to 0 volts. The serial communications wire number 3 goes to RS485A, wire 4 to RS485B, and the screen wire goes to number 5. Note that, unlike the level probe, both ends of the screen must be connected for the panel. This completes the silo top wiring with the exception of the filter control. This is a typical WAM Silo Top 0 model filter unit. There are two ways to connect this to the SHIELD Lite silo protection system. Option 1 is to switch the filter on and off via the power connection with the filter setting set to sequence automatically on power up. Connect the power 0 to 24 volts to terminal block S1 and link across S2 as shown in this diagram. Alternatively, if the power supply for the filter is 110 to 240 volts AC, please use the filter control unit part number SPS-AC filter control shown here and use this wiring diagram. Connect the air supply to the regulator. Use a 6mm standard push-fit airline connection. USA orders will come with a 1/4-inch adapter. Install the normally closed butterfly valve at the fill point and connect the airline as shown. We will now demonstrate the wiring of the new feedback feature for the SHIELD Lite inlet valve. With the valve installed on the inlet pipe, first remove the weatherproof cover. We have pre-wired the solenoid valve into the back of the two spare terminals numbers 7 and 8 on the end. For the connection to the SHIELD Lite panel, a 7-core cable is used. Feed the 7-core cable through the gland. Connect core 1 for the solenoid valve into terminal 8. This is the feed valve output. Connect core 2, which is plus 24 volts, to terminal 7. These are the feed for the fill valve that connects to TB5 on the panel. Next is the TB2 connections. Connect core 5 to terminal 5 for plus 24 volts and core 3 to terminal 4 for output. Finally, the TB1 connections. Connect core 4 to terminal 1 for auxiliary output and core number 6, which is plus 24 volts, into terminal 2 on the valve. This completes the valve wiring, so replace the lid. On the control panel, cores 1 and 2 go to the fill valve output TB5, core 1 to the second connection for output, core 2 to the first for plus 24 volts. This controls the fill valve. Cores 3 and 5 connect to auxiliary output TB2, which tells the system when the valve is open. Connect core 3 to the second connection for output and core 5 to the first for plus 24 volts. Finally, cores 4 and 6 connect to auxiliary output TB1, which tells the system when the valve is closed. Connect core 4 to the second connection for output and core 6 to the first for plus 24 volts. This completes the wiring for the inlet valve feedback. Connect the mains power in the left-hand port. ACL live and ACN neutral are clearly marked on the power block. Connect these and connect the earth to TB3. This completes the wiring. Reattach the panel face. Turn on the air pressure. The gauge on the PRV should go up to 6 bar or 87 psi. This completes the installation. Power up the system. Test the PRV RAM with the local test button. Run a ground level test to confirm all wiring is correct and that the system is operating correctly. The test should pass and the inlet valve should open. This confirms a successful installation. Put the weather shield onto the PRV. On each of the 3 fixing bolts, use a rubber washer, then a metal washer, then the quick release knob. Congratulations, you have now successfully installed your SHIELD Lite silo protection system.